Howdy, I'm Matt, and unfortunately we have the Dart XL in front of us, and by design it has been neutered. Now let me just explain myself, and you'll understand, and you will see for yourself in just a few moments time. In about half an hour's time the full review for the Dart XL is going to go out. However, it wasn't until today, flying over at the farm, where it all became ultra clear why this model has been neutered, and it will never ever be anything more than a cruiser. Now the answer to that is actually ironically in front of us. I just need to point it out to you, and literally it wasn't until I had this model down and I had it nose down towards the ground and I looked down, it became glaringly obvious. So let's go and get my hand in front of here, and I'd like you just to follow my finger through. Is that what you'll see is here is that there is a massive, look, you can see it now, the whole back of this wing comes in and then goes up. So even with an incorrect motor angle or thrust angle for the motor mount on the back, and you will be able to spot the little grey thing there, which is one of the little prop nuts trying to push it out. Basically you are flying around with, for all intents and purposes, about 10 millimeters of up trim into the model. So you are having to put down trim into your elevons just to get the model to fly straight. Compound that with a motor mount which is at the wrong angle, so that the motor's pointing downwards, so the model always climbs underneath thrust, and the model just climbs and turns over itself. It will just loop for days, and that's after putting about 4 millimeters of spacers behind the top motor mount. And yeah, and that's it. Unfortunately, the Dart XL has been, unfortunately, I'm going to say neutered, because I think I might have been the only one. You might be in the same camp, I don't know. Maybe you were looking for a cruiser. I don't know why you would choose a Dart XL as a cruising model when there's models like the Mini Talon, for example, which are a fraction of the cost, and for about £20 more you can have a complete setup, including FPV receiver, R9 long range system setup for just for £20 more compared to the plug and play kit. So it's a nice looking model, but you will never ever be able to fly fast with it, because you're basically flying around with 10 millimeters of up built into the wing itself, and unless you get a craft knife out and cut out this back section, literally this whole back for like 3 inches into the back of the model, you are always going to be doing that with your model as well. I just can't believe it took me this long to spot it. And I also want to make the point here is that I don't watch other people's reviews of these of models, and there's 2 reasons for that. Well, number 1 is time. I'm always short on time, and number 2, I don't want someone else's review to bias me in any shape or fashion. And I know a few of the Rag the Nuts Off members have been and pointed out that somebody else has spotted this, so I don't know who the guy was, but well done on that person for spotting it. And unfortunately that's what I've been, and I literally spotted it late today. And that's why the Dart XL in its current iteration is only going to be good for cruising around and not much else. And by the way, even that is somewhat questionable, because there's just so much lift being created by the back of the wing. I wonder if I can turn this around so you can have a closer look, so maybe make it a little bit more obvious. And it's not that obvious on here, it's because we've got this fin on the back. Let me just pull the fin out a moment. There we go. Can you see the amount? Let me go and zoom in there. The amount of up trim, look, there you go. You can even see this is completely on purpose from that bottom skid there. This model just basically goes whoop out the back, and you are literally flying around with 10 centimeters of up in your trim in your elevator before you've even been and flown the model. So yeah, take this into consideration for the full review on the Dart XL. In short, the model is neutered in its current iteration because of this moulded in up wash. No, it's not even wash out. It's just frustrating for me. Anyway, so there you go. Apologies for having to do a precursor to the actual full review, but I felt this information was extremely important. There's been lots and lots of comments from the Ragnaroksoft community about this model. Mostly positive, and I tell you why the comments here have actually been really positive, because I know a few people have been really pissed about this. And the reason why it's been positive is because they know the company sooo HD, and they know that they do take on feedback, and they have a history of doing that, and especially compared to other companies out in this industry, sooo HD are one of the better ones. So sooo HD, please get rid of this horrific amount of enforced up trim into the model, because there's just no way that you can fly this model in a straight line without putting a stupid amount of down trim in it, and it's not efficient. There's the irony for you. It's being punted as an efficient cruiser, but to get it to fly straight, you're having to, well, you can't get it to fly straight out of the box. You have to put some packing behind the motor mount, and then you have to stick a load of down in it as well. It's just bizarre, to say the least. So hopefully they fix this in Dart XL version 2. One can only hope. Do please let me know your comments, thoughts and feelings down in the comments section underneath this video, and of course look out for the full review, which I'll put a link up in the top right hand corner for those of you which have just been caught up with this video specifically. And as always, for myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you again shortly. Cheerios!